this a little bit, getting the barium around. So this is her right side touching her right lateral. When you're in that room, it's gonna be different. They're gonna be facing away from you. So both of these rooms are a little different. A way to fix that, if it messes you up, you can put their head in whichever room you want. You can make them match by doing that, or just go by what your actual right and left is of your patient so you don't get yourself confused. Bring both hands up like you're praying. Bend your knees. She's already doing it. She did this before a minute ago. This is the position we want them in, with their knees bent, feet on top of each other, hands and shoulders all together, so everything's straight on top of each other. Keeps them nice and lateral.
Okay.
Okay, right there's the bottom of the ribs, so I'm still a little above it to L1. And then for this, mid-coronal plane is the middle of the body here. That's where our spine sits. So our stomach is in front of the spine. So we want to push her forward, or bring the light forward in front of the spine, pushing her backwards. About 1.5 inches in front of mid-coronal is the central ray for the back and forth this way. L1 for this way for the height, and then this line here, 1.5 inches in front of the spine. Going straight through the stomach. This is the only view, you'll see it in the book, that will show the space behind the stomach. It's called the retroperitoneal space. So that's why we do this one. Now, what marker do you think we would put?
Right.
Right, because it's a right lateral. See how there's light down here? I'm gonna put my right marker down here.
Okay.
So for lateral, it's always
The side down, touching it. So you are gonna use both markers. Save your right marker for this one, your left marker for your other ones.
Okay.
Go ahead onto your belly flat down. So now we're rolling her in that circle, getting her down. Now I've switched spots. Now her right side's over here, her left side is over here. So don't get confused. We always want to remember the stomach is on the left, so my stomach's over here now. I'm still at L1, inferior rib margin's there. Here's her 1 inch above it. This one, when you're PA, the stomach does sit a little closer to the spine. I still say you can go halfway. I think your book centering says 1 inch off of mid-sagittal for this one, and on the other ones the book says halfway between. It'll work, unless you just have a really wide patient. But as long as you're off to the left, that's the important thing. If I was to do this, that's no.
No.
We will have the stomach. And then you can put your left marker down here, because this is the left.
Gotcha.
One more picture, RAO. So right anterior oblique. This one, the left side's gonna come up. I always put that shoulder down and bend this knee up, kind of bend and twist. That almost puts her in the RAO. That's the comfy position to sleep if you like to sleep on your belly, kind of. Let that shoulder go down a little bit. So we want the hip and shoulder to be level, so everything's twisted halfway. You can still put a sponge under her. That's good. And I'm still centered at L1, and then halfway. Do not get thrown off by, this is the edge of her body. This is her side. There is nothing else here but air. So if your central ray's over here, I'm getting nothing but air here, and I might miss some of the stomach over here. So this crosshair still needs to be halfway off the spine. Cut her scapula in half, whatever you need to do. Because here's mid-sagittal, here's the end, right in the middle.
Okay.
Still a left marker, because this is the left side that I'm x-raying, right in the middle of the stomach, and that's it. RAO.
RAO.
The bottom corner of the light. Now, some of them, I had light on the table. You could put it there. I could even still go right down here where the light's shooting through. I don't see it, but I know this is where the corner would be if you don't want to put it on the patient. But if you have light on the table, I would stick it there in the light shadow or on them. And that's all of them.
Did you say 11 by 14?
11 by 14.
The whole time?
The whole time. No change in your IR size.
Okay.
Remember, in here, we can't put an image receptor in, but we need to say it every time, switching out my IR.
Okay.
That's all of them.
All right.